And we find ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Denver Broncos and the Minnesota Vikings. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. On 1st and 10, Hoffman. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll get it up here this time to the 21. A gain of 6 there on first. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Gets through and now an opening. And they finally get him, but not before he reaches the 33-yard line. A big run there by Freeman. 46 yards on the ground. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30.
Lucky 56.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. Give him 6 on the play, and it'll make it a 2nd down.
Back 99 Philly, here we go.
And they'll go on the ground. Down right around the 25. And he got half of what he needed there, 2 yards. And it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
On 3rd and 2, Hoffman. It's caught. Jones. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. It's the fullback. His first touchdown on the year. And the Broncos take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. McManus's point after is good. And that makes the score 7-0. Now McManus on to kick this one off. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on it at 2nd down.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't give nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Derek Barnett in there to get him for a loss of 5.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
On play action, they'll throw. Trying to find Bruce, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 30. Then he will bring it back to about the 11-yard line. Well, when you start thinking of guys that are in the mix for Defensive Player of the Year, I think you use him as Exhibit A. Maybe he's not the leading guy right now, but he's at least on the periphery and deserves to be in the discussion.
And because of that, he's looking at a game today where in order to make that big move and maybe become the guy, He needs multiple takeaways, multiple big plays, things that get our attention and reverberate for weeks to come.
All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39. Over.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And he'll be stopped up after only a couple of yards as he gets it down to the 5.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Well, they were handed great starting field position on this drive, but now they face a 3rd and 4. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a 4th down. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you've got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
And out now come the Vikings. You know, in our research packet this week, prepping for the game, so many articles from the local beat writer about the offensive struggles of this team and what will they do this offseason. What do you think they'll do?
Well, number one, they'll turn to their self-scouting report. And every team that's any good does this. They have outside groups, check out their team, scout them, and tell you who can play, who can't play, and reasons why. Some of it may just be health. They have to get some guys healthy and back out on the field. But overall, evaluate this squad and make the changes that you need to.
That goes for a gain of 31.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike.
And he's taken to the ground, but he was pulled down by the face mask. Here come the flags. And I believe this is going to be a first down. So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now back to throw. And he will find his man on the outside. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A good pick up there at 20 yards.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
Nice little nifty play for him there. That's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. And I'm talking about being able to use the backs out of the backfield. Because I know that when I used to cover, hey, we got everybody cut. Oh, he just snuck out there, and they just got a nice first down there.
What do we love to say? Get those backs into space, right? And they were able to do that there. Nice pickup on first down. Line of scrimmage, again, the 4-yard line. 2nd and goal. He'll get it up the middle. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a mist.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great play there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings are able to make this a close game again. Point after, right down the middle. And that'll cut it to 3 at 10-7. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The Broncos offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They go play action here on 1st down. Now he'll turn and throw deep back. He's got a man complete. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. They give him a gain of 38.
In our pregame meeting, all they talked about was keeping him hemmed in and wanting him to make his throws from the pocket because they knew he was pretty dangerous if he got outside, and he just showed it right there. Pretty good arm, too.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. And they'll run it here. And he will cross the 30 down to the 29-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Back alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Bronco football to begin quarter number 2. They face a 2nd and 7 to start things out. Operating from the gun, Hoffman. And that is caught. Touchdown, Denver. As his guys are in for 6, and the Broncos will extend their lead. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever. There it results in a touchdown. And he'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2 minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Damon Harrison, the one on the stop.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 42. And they will take over possession of the football at their 42-yard line. He's continuing to be a big presence defensively. Remember last week, AFC Defensive Player of the Week, and a big pick right there.
And when you pile up big numbers, it gets everyone's attention. But sometimes the number just needs to be, how many game-changing plays did you make? Did you take the ball away from the other team? He just did that, trying to win the award again this week.
And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a first down. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Throwing on first down. Hoffman going for the deep ball. And this is caught for a Bronco touchdown. Cortland Sutton, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Broncos will add on to their lead. The fly route works for the TD grab.
And you know the receivers love to say, if we get even with the defender, we're leaving. And that's exactly what he did all the way into the end zone. and then he was on the business end catching it once he got over the stripe.
Now McManus on to kick this one off. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. And now out comes Minnesota. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, it totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. Back to throw here. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and this shows on the scoreboard.
They'll go to the air here on 3rd and 2. Fighting to stay on his feet past midfield. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What do the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open, he finds a way to pick up a first down.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20.
Lucky 56. Lucky 56. Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
The play action fake. They'll look to throw. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. 11 yards on the pickup. So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 45-yard line. He'll look to throw. Flushed out right. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete. Jordan Reed was the intended target. That'll bring up 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. And since they still have 10 yards to go, they'll just say, let's roll this over to 3rd down and decline it.
Let's just be honest about it. If you can't get them off the field on 3rd and 10, then something's wrong with your defense anyway. No sense in taking that penalty.
They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They're going to look to throw. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 46.
They were in the top 5 in sacks in the league coming into this one. That's their 3rd one in this game. Obviously, pass rush has been a strength of this team all year long.
And how about this, a fake? And this is incomplete. A huge gamble, and it does not pay off. They fake the punt. It doesn't work out. Well, not only did they try to fake it, they put the ball in the arm of their punter, and it didn't work out.
Not the quarterback.
No.
The punter.
Yeah. Risky.
It is so funny because when it works, genius. When it doesn't work, not so smart.
Not so genius.
In this case, not so genius, but I do admire that he went for it.
That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Hoffman. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. A Bronco 1st down there, 12 yards on the play.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, he was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice 1st down.
3
This is Freeman on 1st and 10. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. He makes a wonderful play there off the corner, protecting his side of the field.
Oh, that reminds me of the great defenses of old, doesn't it? The Pittsburgh Steelers steel curtain. They would not let you get on the field if you could only do one thing. You had to be a complete guy, and you had to be able to tackle.
Now, I know I've said this before, but you know I wasn't alive when the steel curtain was played. I know them, but I just want to let you know I wasn't alive.
I'm going to keep peppering that in there, and one of these days you're going to think that you were. Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Back to throw. Hoffman. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And that one incomplete. Had some position but couldn't hold on, and it brings up 4th down. This secondary has been roasted in this first half, and they get a measure of revenge there. Nice play on the deep ball.
Yeah, they're going to need a few more plays like that in order to get their confidence fully back, but that's one step in the proper direction.
No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field.
Watch him now, Barney!
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But a Viking was able to corral this one, and Minnesota will keep possession.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
2 minutes to go here in the first half. More from Minneapolis after this.
Over! Detroit!
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. But it's caught on the right side at Smith. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. A crazy sequence here. A huge gain that time, but it still leaves them well short for 4th down. They're going to try and throw. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off at the 28. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Bronco defense has a touchdown. Make it back-to-back weeks now with a pick 6 for him. He had one a week ago.
Talk about being in the groove, and what are the odds of what we're seeing right here? You don't see it happen very often. Listen, if you get a pick 6 in a season, it's been a big year, let alone back-to-back weeks. Tell you this, I wouldn't play cards against this guy in the locker room.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. After the pick 6, they go right back to the air. And the Broncos get there and take him down. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Looking to throw. And that one goes incomplete. He's maybe lucky it wasn't a fumble as he got hit as he threw it.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync. Only way to play good defense.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a 4th down.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Yeah, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
Still fighting. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. They've had a very solid first half, and as we near the end of that first half, they're just looking for a little more on top of their lead right now.
And when you put together a game plan on offense, you put together what you think is going to be the best possible scenario.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 33. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards.
Detroit! Detroit! Gun!
Back to throw now on 1st down. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. One play has him to the 37 here for 1st and 10.
Detroit! Detroit! All right, here we go. Green 39! Green 39! Watch it now, Barney!
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. And he'll be wrapped up around the waist and pushed down.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
They'll look to throw. He's going to loft one deep left side here. It's caught inside the 25. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. Not time enough for a play and then a timeout, you wouldn't think. So with 4 seconds left, they're going for it.
Watch it now, Barney!
They'll throw now on the final play. So we are at halftime here on Christmas Eve. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the 3rd. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10. Cook following the penalty. Good cover defensively as they get to him just beyond the 45 after the juke. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him. He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
And boy, that one drops incomplete, but if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble.
We just saw another example of really good defensive football, which has led to the cushion that they have in this game. Got to him once again, knocked him on the ground, forced an incompletion.
Yeah, they've set the tone. It's one thing to set the tone, another to come in here on the road and set the tone. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. Well, they've been burned twice already on 4th down, but the 3rd time's the charm as they keep the drive moving.
Lucky 56. Lucky 56.
He'll drop to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And it's incomplete.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up, 2nd and 10.
Patriot! Patriot! Lucky 56! Lucky 56!
On 2nd down, Cook. And flags come in as he gets forward for about 3 yards. And let's check on the call. So their move is to decline that so they don't get another 2nd down. It'll be 3rd.
So that has to tell us that they're pretty confident in their 3rd down defense, right?
Absolutely.
Whether it's a sub package or nickel package, whatever they want to run out there, they feel like they can defend here on 3rd down.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Flush to his right. And this is going to be incomplete.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on 3rd down.
Still just the 3rd quarter, but they've got to make something happen. I think they know that. They're going for it on 4th. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. How about them biting off 15 yards there on the 4th down attempt and keeping the drive alive? Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Malik Collins in there to bring him down for a loss of 7.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle the...
And he's going to go down again. Malik Collins in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
And that's his 2nd sack of the game, but this player, disruptive in all phases, whether he's going upfield, coming underneath, you name it. He's a big-time guy you have to block.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And my goodness, this is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Broncos will take over on downs. Well, that's another mistake there on the drop pass on fourth. And we've seen him do things like this all game.
It's not hard to figure out why they're down by that deficit. They haven't made plays that are going to keep them in the game or win the game all game long. That's another example right there. It all boils down at the end of it to execution. Either you make the play or you don't. Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
He takes this from the 30 to the 34.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
The Broncos on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. From the gun, Hoffman. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A big gain of 31 on third down.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Hey, a lot of points have been scored in this game, but what a nice play by the defense. Stepping up on that one, maybe they'll get things going in their direction after a play like that.
Buying time to his left. Now he's going to let it go deep. And that is caught. Touchdown, Denver. A great effort there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Broncos add on. Extra point from McManus is good. And that will extend this big lead. Now McManus on to kick this one off. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And on the last drive, they were in field goal range. They just opted not to kick it, didn't get it. How does that change the mentality this go-around?
I don't think it changes much for the head coach, because this is what he preaches all the time. Attack at all times in any spot on the field, and he likes touchdowns, not field goals. Now, your field goal kicker, you got to make sure you nurse him through and say, okay, don't worry about it. When we need you, you got to be ready to go. And the team, of course, loves to see points on the board. So let's see if it changes a little bit if they're in the same spot again.
Yeah, we'll see what the decision is here if they get to that spot. They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty.
Gun, gun! Gun, gun! Set! Green 39! Green 39!
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. He sets to fire deep. And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, 2nd down. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary, it really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
Here we go now. Green 39! Green 39!
They'll set up a throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 11, he goes down. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball, because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
Good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help him at contract time.
Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Detroit! Detroit!
They're indeed going for it as they look to throw. Looking left side, and it's complete. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Good, good! Good, good!
Back to throw. He's going to air one out. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Justin Simmons. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line.
Detroit! Detroit!
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. For the right side, going to be complete to Moss. And he lost the football. The Broncos say they have it. They do.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. Now a handoff looking right. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Barthema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. The Broncos on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Off the play fake. Hoffman. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. 3rd and long. Why are you calling play action?
Yeah, because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking. But to me, it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly, and it leads to a play-action sack. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, and pushed it past the 50-yard line so they thought they were in striking distance, and to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here? So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And that one almost intercepted. Far too loose with the football here. Nearly a 4th pick. And it's 3rd down. I want to go back to something you said in the first quarter about winning.
Is it a positive?
It is a positive.
Okay.
About winning the turnover battle. As a visiting team, as an underdog, you were right. They've done just that, and look where it's gotten them.
It's part of the formula. When you go on the road, as you mentioned, being an underdog, winning the turnover battle is a big key.
And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. A big play there with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Vikings are able to cut into that deficit. And this one through the uprights and good. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And Denver getting set to take the field. We've got a lopsided game here. I don't know, Charles, what does the handbook say that we discuss when we've got a game like this in the fourth quarter?
Hold on a second. Let me thumb to the proper page on that. Know what it says?
What?
Let's discuss how we got here. This is a dominant performance, where they took control of this game, how they've managed to keep control of this game, and then we go ahead and think about how we're going to leave here and get to the airport.
And this is going to be intercepted. He's picked off near his own 48, the 20. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. This game's still fairly well in hand, but I think now you go conservative, don't you? Go into your shell and just run the football?
I think you have to, but you also have to tell your backs to make sure you're really protecting the football because you're going to run into a stacked defensive front, which is why they were throwing the football before, trying to make sure they just get their backs, really beat up in that situation. Now, good luck to them.
And the Broncos are going to get the football. Now they're down big here in the fourth. They had to try the onside kick. Can't fault them for the effort at least.
No, you can't at all. And if nothing else, now you've put something that you're trying to practice, right, that you've worked on into a game situation, and now you can go back and dissect it. So if you need it again sometime, maybe you'll find a better way to do it. But, yeah, this game's pretty much done for them.
Throwing after the interception. Hoffman. Now he's going to throw it deep to the other side of the... This is caught inside the 15. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. That one goes for 36 yards. So now following the big play, they've got a first and goal all the way down at the 10.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. Call it a gain of 9 there, and it puts them in better shape here for second and goal. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
They'll look to run with Freeman. And he will take it in for a Bronco touchdown. Royce Freeman, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Broncos will extend their lead. Now McManus on to kick this one off. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And all deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line.
There's never a good place on the field to fumble the ball. Let's just call it as it is.
But definitely not in your own red zone.
In your own red zone, it's heightened, isn't it? Because you're almost automatically giving up a score and the momentum, and everything just changes for your team.
Yeah, so the kickoff fumble now, great field position. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a first and goal. They'll run here with Freeman. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It'll be a pickup of 4, and it brings up second and goal. At this stage of the game, with the score where it is, the key here is stay in bounds, and he did just that. Not by a huge margin, but he stayed in.
And those come up in what we like to call winning edge meetings. The things that you have to do, late game situations, kicking situations, doesn't matter what it is, the things you have to do to win a game, and that comes up in that meeting, then you practice it. They've got to be happy to see it executed, being able to stay in bounds and work the clock.
And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. A nice run there as he picks up 6. It's going to be third and goal now. Now they try the right side here. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
There's no doubt in my mind.
And do you hear that? Do you hear
It's not scales, right? I don't hear scales. Do I actually hear a tune being warbled?
I think the fat lady's humming.
Yeah, she's doing more than humming. She's belting it out right now.
She's going. She's full bore.
Yeah, this thing is flat out finished.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. So they say no to the penalty. The incompletion stands. It'll be 2nd and 10.
And what they want to do is go ahead and take those downs away from them. You never want to give extra snaps to any offense. That's how you get hurt.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. They'll drop the throw. And he comes back with one complete. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down. They'll set up to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it.
Gone! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. Man open, it's Moss complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. But no reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. They go play action here on 1st down. He's going to let it fly. And that's caught inside the 30. And they're going to have this way down deep in Denver territory. A big play there for Minnesota. 44 yards. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. That is caught at the 7. And he's brought down. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the 1st down. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Back to throw again. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Justin Simmons. And the return goes up to his own 17-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent. And now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout. As they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Gone! Here we go now.
That one looks like he'll throw here. He's going to float this one deep right side. A battle for it, and it's intercepted. Picked off around the 27. Look at this spin. And the ball is knocked out. But it looked like, fortunately, the Broncos able to recover. So cancel the interception, pass interference.
And you know what else gets canceled? The return yardage. Makes the play, but now it's all for naught.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. On 1st down, Hoffman. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
You got to give some credit. They're able to hop up in the air and bat that one away. And that's frustrating for an offensive lineman because the only recourse is when he goes in the air to try and give him some type of a pop or a shove, hoping to bring his arms down.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. Throwing again. Hoffman. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown. Now McManus for the extra point. McManus's point after is good. And the lead will swell by one more. Now McManus on to kick this one off. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest,
don't forget today.
And now a fumble. The ball's out. It's picked up by the Broncos. And that might just cement it. A return for a late touchdown. The offenses have success. You can say they've run wild a little bit. Time for the defenses to get into the act, and one does here.
Nothing like a little bit of revenge for the defense. They've had to deal with it all game long. Both offenses going up and down the field. How about it when they take the ball away and take it to the other end zone?
So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. They can't do much at this point, partner. This one is going to go down in the loss column.
You don't make up for what has happened during the game in this sequence here. Maybe you hand it off and let someone run the ball if you so choose. But otherwise, just kneel down, call it a day, and try and prepare going forward.
Ooh, moving from his tight end spot there.
Do you think that perhaps the play call was for him?
A false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And Diggs has it. And he'll get it up here this time to the 21. It'll be a gain of 4. And it'll be 2nd and 11.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
And that is incomplete. 2 seconds left on the clock.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield.
All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
One final shot. They'll look to throw. He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for Denver, it's an important win for their playoff hopes as they hit the 10-win mark now at 10-5. And they'll head back home next week to take on the Baltimore Ravens. Meanwhile, for Minnesota, things get even uglier now as they fall to 2-13. And they'll look to get back on track next week as they travel up to Detroit to take on the Lions. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.
you.